so. I hardly believed he was shopping at the library. Damn it, Tom's here again. So Bates has got something to do with the order. I've gotta get closer, but better around the outside.
Gopher. But you are generously compensated.
Yeah. You know exactly how much I need this bloody compensation.
I will not tolerate that tone of voice. You know.
All right, man. I'll go and look for her.
Thank you very much.
Interesting. Locked. Damn. Where else can I get a tea in this dump of a place? I have to get inside. I don't have time to wait until this evening. How fitting. Cracking Tom's door with his own tool. The same principle as in the hotel. The wire snapped. But I've achieved what I wanted to. There's the tea I need. Now, quickly back to the castle. I guess Bates isn't back yet. Everything's ready. Just need some hot water. I'll just let Sally know. Good day, Sally.
Yes?
Sally, Bates has asked me to tell you that you can announce tea time today. Now all we're missing is the hot water.
Oh, so I'm good enough for that now, am I?
He was rather exhausted after doing the shopping.
No wonder. I don't understand why he simply didn't tell Lewis to go.
I do. There's an ornate fence or some kind of barrier around the globe. No idea what that's for. I'm almost certain there's a secret compartment hidden behind the stone slab. How can I get to it? I don't think the ladies would be that happy if I were to use a hammer to disturb the slab. You'd hear that through the castle. Well, the police would be straight on to me. Then things would get really complicated. The knife would bend before moving the slab an inch. It reminds me of the leaded glass in church windows. Different colored pieces of glass bound with thin metal strips. According to Angelina, all three pieces together will open the access to the catacombs under the old academy. Everything is ready for tea time. The castle is very beautiful, but, well,
It's slowly falling down, you mean? I'm afraid you're right. It's not the only thing here that's falling down.
How do you mean that?
The Gordon line. We've lived here in this area for centuries and have shaped it like no one else. Our family is going to die out, Mr. Fogg. Soon, there won't be any more Gordons. And the worst thing is, I am no longer even sure that this will be a loss.
You mean because of...
Because of the misery for which some of us are responsible. Yes.
I've just realized that if Angelina's right, then this woman is my grandmother. She doesn't seem to know anything about her grandson. Or maybe she does. Her look was somehow strange. I'll go and take a bit of a look around.
Of course.
I don't have any important questions for her right now. The floor is sparkling clean again. Sally's done a good job. But she didn't really have a choice considering Bates' standards. Sally put her cleaning things down here. An old metal bucket and a mop. I'll take the mop with me. Pile of towels. Small. I'll lay the mop head directly over the plug hole. I'd better not flood the bathroom without a reason. water is still getting through, despite the flannel, but much less than what's flowing into the bathtub. She's so busy at the moment, I don't want to disturb her. Hey, Lewis.
What is it now?
Sally says that you were out in the car this morning.
Sally should keep her nose in her gossip magazines where it belongs.
So you didn't go out in the car this morning?
I said that already.
I don't believe it. Which of the old folks could have driven the car without Lewis noticing? Well, see you later.
Not if I see you first.
Insanity is hereditary. What's wrong with me? What are these visions? Samuel had a book in his hand, and he was pointing to this tile. What's wrong with me? Samuel had a book in his hand, and he was pointing... The apparition pointed to these tiles. It won't move at all. Whoa! There's a cavity behind it. There's nothing else in the cavity. And if I'm lucky, no one will notice the hole before I'm gone. A handwritten page from a book. It looks like it's from William Gordon's diary, with additions from his grandson, Samuel. As far as I know, they both fell from one of the castle towers. Now, did Samuel rip out the page and write it first? Then, why? There are lots of little pyramids or triangles scribbled on the page in a circle. 3 of them have been crossed out. Now, I've seen these triangles somewhere before. Most of the ripped out pages don't tell me much. This drawing with the pyramids, it looks strangely familiar to me. They seem to be the same pyramids that are in Samuel's diary. Let's see. You can push them in. I'm almost certain there's a secret compartment hidden behind the stone slab. Most of the ripped out pages don't... Yes, finished. But nothing's happening. I'm sure I pushed down the correct pyramids. It must have done something. I knew it. A secret compartment. And inside there is... the second piece of mosaic.
What are you doing there, sir?
I was just looking at the space here. Unusual, isn't it?
Indeed it is. There was always a stone slab there before.
Perhaps someone removed it.
I will ask Sally about that.
That was close.
Lady Victoria, I've just returned from the village, and I thought you might like to know.
Very good, Bates. Take a break for half an hour. No debate now.
Bound up in the second mosaic tile, too. Mr. Bates?
Yes?
Lady Victoria.
Yes, sir?
She seems to me to be rather bitter.
She is a dignified old lady who has to bear a greater burden than I would wish for her.
The death of her husband and her 2 sons, the murders, the castle's decline, the end of the family line.
You said it, sir.
What can you tell me about Lady Eleanor?
If you want to know something, why don't you ask her yourself?
I'd like to hear your opinion. Why do you think she brought Louis here with her, after her husband's death?
And what do you mean by that, sir? Really now? I ask you, sir. Lady Eleanor is a lady, and she treats her servants accordingly. Louis would have been unable to get a new position. He's simply too old. We can offer him a form of retirement here.
But neither Louis nor Lady Eleanor give the impression of being happy with the arrangement. You could maybe even believe that she owes him something.
I would be aware of that, and I can tell you that your surmising is incorrect.
Are you not feeling too well, Mr. Bates?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Perhaps you should have a lie down.
I'll have a lie down when I have time to do so. The work won't get done on its own.
Sally could do it.
I doubt that very much.
You don't think too much of Sally, then?
I don't think too much of her work.
So why do you employ her?
It wasn't my idea. Her ladyship insisted that we should employ a relief.
Not a great choice, apparently.
It won't last long. She'll soon have enough and then disappear.
I've noticed a huge locked door on the ground floor.
I'd keep away from that, sir.
Why?
There was fire in the rooms through there some years ago. The damage was never properly repaired. The walls have been ruined by rainwater, and the beams have been rotting for 20 years or more. I think you'll risk your life going into that wing of the house.
That must have been quite some fire to destroy the wing like that.
It was a dreadful tragedy, such as we've already suffered too many times here. It must now be 24 years ago. Master Samuel and his enchanting wife Catherine were just married and had only recently moved into the castle. We were hoping that he would one day take over the castle from his father and give us a son and heir. But then, they had not even been here for 6 months. There was a fire.
Did anyone know how the fire started?
No. Master Samuel lost his wife in the fire, and then vanished for the next 12 years. He'd been deeply wounded by the events.
Were there any other victims of the fire? Anyone injured, perhaps?
Our cook at the time was the first to discover the fire and tried to pull young Mrs. Gordon from the flames. She became trapped by the flames and would have burnt to death had she not saved herself by leaping out of a window. But she injured her back very badly and had to leave us after that. Why?
The young lady at the lighthouse was also burned.
I find the connection rather stretched.
What kind of a man was he, this Samuel Gordon?
His father sent him off to boarding school early, since he was a very obstinate, wild child. His behavior improved at the school. The teachers described him as an alert, intelligent, and friendly boy, and in the holidays we found him so too. He got to know Miss Catherine after being at school. A wonderful, good-hearted woman. They were married and seemed to have found a perfect happiness.
What do you mean, seemed?
Well, there were some arguments when they lived here.
Was he violent?
To her, I don't really know, but I fear he may have been. Miss Catherine was unhappy, and if there hadn't been some wonderful times every now and again, then she perhaps would have left him. It could have been noticeable to us at that time. The two faces of Samuel Gordon. On the one hand, the loving, caring husband, and on the other, the arrogant and brutish egomaniac. After his wife's death, this nasty side of him seemed to disappear. He never visited us. However, common acquaintances described him as a profoundly sad and broken man.
That is, until he returned and slaughtered some innocent people.
It's terrible. We all wonder ourselves. Perhaps we didn't want to believe that this evil side of his soul had returned.
What can you tell me about Samuel's ghost, which some of the tourists believe they've seen?
Indeed, there are a few tourists who believe they have seen him. Nothing unusual has happened for 12 years now. Apart from the castle being virtually besieged by tourists every now and again.
But not anymore.
No. Although, only yesterday there was a married couple who came to see the castle and its alleged ghost. Since they asked me politely in advance, I let them have a look around the garden. But did they find what they wanted? I very much doubt it. There are no ghosts here.
I'll catch you later, Bates.
Goodbye, sir.
That should create a distraction. If I were to turn off the water, the whole thing would seem even more suspicious. Okay, as long as the water's running, it might look like someone simply forgot to turn it off. Mr. Bates?
Yes?
Mr. Bates, the bathroom's underwater.
Sorry?
I was just going past the bathroom, and the water was already washing into the hall.
Can you please get Sally, sir?
If Sally doesn't go to the bathroom soon, then Bates will go get her himself and find me here. I'd better let her know myself. Good day, Sally.
Yes?
Sally, quick! The bathroom's underwater.
What?
Bates is really mad. You must have forgotten to turn the water off.
Oh, me? No, no! But I really don't know how that could have happened.
I've had enough of your excuses. You've missed something there.
But I have never left the flannel in the bathtub.
Oh, her ladyship will hear about this. You can consider yourself lucky if we don't subtract the damages from your wages.
They're both occupied. Bates is distracted. Okay, let's go. You can see straight away that Bates isn't well. He seems to have problems breathing. Perhaps lung cancer. Bates would be better off in a hospital, but he would rather die than leave this castle. This bedpost looks more than a little strange. There's a slot in the side of the post. What have we got here? Hey, there's a little brass key inside. There are clothes and underwear inside. Nothing important. So what does Bates read then? Heinlein, Dick, Lem, Zalazny. Wow, man really has taste. I've no idea who that is. There's no name on it. It's not one of the usual suspects. Not Shakespeare, not an ancient Greek. portrait of an uptight, miserable gentleman. Well, that's what you look like if you have to sit still for hours for an artist. The bottle probably contains pure oxygen. It helps sick people breathe much easier. Bates must be very sick. When he was sitting here earlier, you could see he's dying. The drawer is locked. That could be interesting. The window looks out towards the castle gate. I can see the steps, the trees, nothing of interest. The butler is an orderly person, just as you'd expect. I can't find anything interesting. Bates isn't gonna leave any important documents lying around on his desk. Small metal box. A few documents. And a photo. That's my mother. It's a picture of Mom, Bates, and a few other servants in the snow in front of the entrance portal. Underneath it says, "The Good Spirits of Blackmere Castle, Christmas 1969. That doesn't add up. I was born in February 1970, and in this picture, my mother doesn't look at all like she's 7 months pregnant. Does that mean... No. The photo must have been labeled wrong. It's too heavy for a jewelry box. I guess it's more like some kind of old-fashioned casket. It's too heavy for a... Either the writing on the photo is wrong, or I'm not just looking for my father. The picture was taken apparently 2 months before I was born. But my mom's looking slimmer than I've ever seen her. A checkbook, a few notifications, and transfer forms. These are exactly the same ones I found in my mom's desk, and the handwriting is an exact match too. So it was Bates who was regularly sending cash to my mom. But on whose behalf? And am I really just looking for my father? This thing here could still be interesting. There's a note here between the papers. There's a header which says, "Combination." The documents prove that Bates had transferred money to my mom every month. Sadly, there's no clue to whoever he was doing it for. That looks like some kind of a aid memoir that Bates has written out. He must have conceded that his memory wasn't getting any better and wanted to play it safe. It says here, on Sir Egmont's portrait, the builder's eldest sister, my Christian name, the nymph's numbers. Hopefully, they're both still occupied.
We're going to discuss this immediately.
But nothing happened!
Only because the police officer discovered it before it was too late. Do you know what might have happened?
going downstairs. Excellent. In all the commotion, Bates will have forgotten that he didn't lock his room. 𝑥𝑣𝑖𝑖𝑖 is written on the bottom corner. Ah, a Roman 18. I'll give him a few minutes break from me. Is there a Sir 𝘾𝙤𝙤 in the Gordon family?
Sir Egmont? No. That doesn't ring a bell at all.
Or perhaps is there someone in the area with the name?
No. I'm sorry. Not that I know of.
Strange. Someone who Bates knows, but not Lady Victoria. That doesn't make things simpler, exactly. Can you tell me Bates's first name?
Now that's odd. He's been working for us for so long that I can't remember him ever having a forename. Please ask him yourself, Mr. Falk.
If that was only so simple. As I understand it, this house was built by your two ancestors, Marcus and Mordred. Is that correct?
Well, they at least laid the foundation stone. Most of the foundations, the cellars, and a few walls are from that period.
Not the rest.
Oh, no. You don't seem to be too au fait with architecture, Inspector. In Marcus's time, they weren't able to build castles like this. That came much later.
Who gave the castle its present-day look?
Many of the masters of Black Mirror improved and extended the castle, laid the gardens, and modernized all of the fixtures and fittings. But the one who really had the greatest influence on the fabric of the castle, as you see it now, was Frederick Arthur Gordon. He gave the castle the appearance it has today.
Frederick Arthur Gordon, then. Thank you. I'll go and take a bit of a look around.
Of course.
Does the name Sir 𝘾𝙤𝙤 mean anything to you?
A remote neighbour in Wales was called Sir 𝘾𝙤𝙤, but you surely can't mean him.
No, surely not. Sir 𝘾𝙤𝙤 must be someone that Bates knew personally. Otherwise, the aide memoir would make no sense. Do you know Bates' first name?
What a strange question. I'm afraid I can't help you with that.
I'm going to have another look around. Goodbye, Lady Eleanor.
It's nice to see another face in this house.
I'll give him a few minutes break from me. Good day, Sally.
Yes?
Does the name Sir 𝘾𝙤𝙤 mean anything to you?
Sir Egmont? Of course.
Really? Who's that, then?
And why do you want to know that?
I need the information for my investigation.
And what if I didn't tell you?
What's that supposed to mean? Come on, tell me.
Well, one good turn. Being a copper, you can certainly do me a little favour. My brother Rupert's got a problem with a few speeding tickets. Maybe you could...
Hey, slow down. I'm not the traffic police. Tell me who 𝘾𝙗𝙤𝙦 is, or your brother's speeding tickets will be the least of your problems.
You can't force me. I'm not telling you anything until you've helped me out too.
Okay. So what's your brother's name?
Rupert Wood.
I'll see if there's anything that can be done. Perhaps I can fool her on this. Do you know Bates's Christian names?
What? No. Lucifer, maybe.
Okay. I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Ah, don't worry about it.
There's nothing about the well that interests me. I'd rather leave him to his work. Hey, there's a letter inside. It's addressed to Mr. Bates, Blackmere Castle, Willow Creek. If Bates's full name isn't going to be on the envelope, then perhaps maybe at least in the letter? It's a bill for a gravestone. According to your desired... the inscription is as follows. Edward Bartholomew Bates, to know one's duty and to carry it through. That is everything. So, Edward Bartholomew then. Weird name. Which symbol does that point to? There isn't really anything to see on the base of this figurine. Just a vertical line. Is it supposed to be a Roman 1? There's a Roman numeral carved into the base of the figurine. 19. XX is engraved on the base. Either there's an X missing to warn of its lewdness, or it's a Roman 20. Let's see. The nymphs have the numbers 1, 18, 19, and 20. That would be 58 in total. That doesn't help me with the symbols. What have these numbers got to do with the age? Maybe the numbers represent letters of the alphabet. What would that give us? A, R, S, T. Cars? No. Star. Yes, of course. The symbol is a star. Can you tell me where Sally's from?
Her family has a farm in Sussex. At least that's what she told me.
Do you doubt that?
Not really. Her behavior and the way she talks quite clearly point to farmyard origins.
I'll catch you later, Bates.
Goodbye, sir.
𝑋𝑉𝑖𝑖𝑖. It almost looks like a combination lock, just with symbols instead of numbers. Who am I kidding? There are thousands of possible combinations. I'm not going to get any further with trial and error. I first need to find out which symbols are the right ones. Good day, Sally.
Yes?
The thing with the tickets has been sorted out already. What does Sir Eggmont have to do with any of that?
You're taking the mickey, aren't ya? How old is my brother then, and what's his address?
Look, the cancellation was done by our boys in Sussex. How old is your brother? I don't know. But for canceling the tickets, that information is irrelevant anyway.
Then ask your boys over there in Sussex. I want to be sure you've taken care of my brother's problem.
Okay. I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Ah, don't worry about it.
Let's try it. Hello, operator? Please put me through to Rupert Wood in Sussex. Yes, I'll wait. Mr. Wood, Mr. Rupert Wood. Do you have a sister named Sally? Yes, my name's Inspector Falk. I'm calling on behalf of the traffic police. Yes, calm down. No, listen. No, she isn't. It's concerning your speeding ticket, sir. It seems as though someone has made a mistake. According to our records, you are 99 years old. That surely can't be right, can it? 34. Yes, I thought so. Listen, I'm gonna delete the record, okay? Your speeding ticket is thereby null and void. Yes. No problem. Goodbye, Mr. Wood. Rupert Wood, 34, from Sussex, now believes that his speeding ticket has disappeared into thin air. Hopefully his sister believes that too. Good day, Sally.
Yes?
All right. The speeding tickets have been canceled. Now, what's all this about Sir Eggmont?
So, where does my brother live, and how old is he?
Rupert Wood, 34, domiciled in Sussex, as of now, does not have any speeding tickets against him.
You're a darling.
Okay, that's enough. Now, will you at last tell me who Sir Eggmont is?
Here he is.
Breakfast cereal?
Sir Eggmont's finest breakfast flakes. They're Bates's favourite. They're very soft and easy to chew.
Clever. And what does the old guy wear on his uniform? A medal in the shape of a cross. That's it. Okay. I won't keep you from your work any longer.
Ah, don't worry about it.
So, Frederick Arthur Gordon, where are you? Ah, here he is. Frederick had 4 sisters. The oldest answer to the pretty name of Rose. Bates has ordered his own gravestone. I find that very tasteless. His Christian names are Edward Bartholomew. I don't have a clue to which symbol that might point. Do the names Edward or Bartholomew mean anything to you?
Mean anything? What do you mean by that, Mr. Fogg?
Perhaps you associate a particular symbol or sign with these names.
Oh, I've always been interested in these kinds of things. Now, let me think. Now, Edward doesn't have any significance for me. But the name Bartholomew comes from the Bible. Saint Bartholomew. He was one of the 12 apostles. He preached in Persia and also in India, possibly. He died a martyr's death. He was flayed alive. His skin was removed. That's why his symbol is a knife.
A knife. I think you may well have helped me with that.
Glad to. Even if I do find your questions rather odd, surely they can't all be to do with the dead girl.
Oh, it's a complicated case. I'll go and take a bit of a look around.
Of course.
That's it. A big key. There's only one door here whose key you'd hide in a casket. And a small golden medallion. Or at least half a small golden medallion. It must have been one you could open originally. There's small hinges on it. Inside is a photo of me. Me as a little boy, 3 or 4. I'm certain it looks just like the pictures of me as a child in Boston. Was I adopted? There's something engraved on the back of it. Adrian. Is that my name? And if it is, why was it changed when I was adopted? To make it more difficult for the Order to find me? My photo is in one half of the locket. The name Adrian is engraved on the back. time for a few answers. This is the only accessible room in this wing. Next door is locked, and all the other rooms are completely dilapidated. The material is really rough and old. It's grown stiff over the years. The curtains are very tasteful and can't have been cheap. They're probably even made by hand. Little light gets in through the window, and the curtains make the room even darker. Outside I can see a courtyard. Quite dreary. Another old picture like all the rest. A woman with a rigid face and dead eyes. I can't tell when the picture was painted. Time seems to stand still in this castle. The woman's clothing isn't much different to Lady Victoria's. The woman could have lived here 200 years ago. Or 20 years ago. There hasn't been a fire in this fireplace for ages. There's some white ashes on the floor, but no wood. It's cool here. I can feel a draft. The wind's probably whistling right over the chimney up on the roof. There's a small wooden plate lying here. It looks like it belongs to a game. I've got the feeling I've seen it somewhere before. Someone has written Ralph on the back. There's a huge mirror built into the wall. Quite elaborate for such a simple mirror. The mirror is very lavish and ornately framed. There seems to be some kind of mechanism at the bottom of it. I've got no idea how it works. I think something's missing. Something small is definitely missing. A ball or something that fits in this hole. I think I'll pay Ralph a little visit. This wooden plate has something to do with him. Hello, Ralph?
Hi, Darren.
Ralph, I've got something here and was wondering if you could maybe help me out with it.
I've got one of those too. Here, look.
A sliding block puzzle. I remember those from when I was a kid.
Yeah. Is it yours? A nice lady gave it to me.
A lady?
Yes, I couldn't recognize her, but Mr. Bubby says she's a holy one.
Interesting.
Mr. Bubby says you can have it. It's a bit broken.
Well, that's very nice of Mr. Bubby. Thanks a lot. I need to get going, Ralph.
See you.
The ball's outside. Now let's see what we can start with this. Yes, it fits. The little ball rolls around the outer circle. Now I need to adjust something else. I think it has to get to the middle. Alright, let's see. Got it. Ah, the mirror. It's actually a secret door. There isn't the slightest sign of decay. In fact, this is one of the most well-maintained rooms I've seen in the entire castle. It looks like a nursery in an old movie. A girl's room. Look at this. More little balls. I've had enough of mirrors, especially in this castle. Like in a dollhouse. A four-poster bed, velvet, silk, and lace. Whoever it was that set this up wanted a doll for a child. A porcelain music box. And underneath it, the third piece of mosaic. This melody.